What?
Pounders, welcome back. Today, Nick is generous enough to let us do a Dalmatian draft on his account. He will be in charge of this. I actually just get to sit back, pick six, and looks standard through the first four picks. What's going on, Nick?
Dude, we got in just as this thing filled. I mean, it just worked out perfect. But I got our exposures up from one of the drafts I've already done.
Perfect.
I'm probably a Monra here. I'm in a slow draft too, and I have a Monra. I
Okay.
did take him at like pick 3 just because I wasn't sure if I was going to get a share of him. But I'm pretty into a Monra anyway. I think I'm at like 15% in BBM.
Yeah.
So you
Let's
good
go,
with this
Monra.
over
Dude,
Bijan?
that playoff schedule. Just show the spreads on that playoff schedule.
Yeah, it's the only one that's like green, right?
All three games, 48.5 plus on each. It's really nice, especially in a contest like this, right, where it's a little more like the advance rates are a little easier in this contest.
Yeah, yeah. So I've done a draft with you. We had a Brees Hall team, I think, for that one. I did one by myself. I have a Bijan share, so it's looking like Brees Hall, Bijan, and Tua Monra
Yep.
for this contest.
Yep. Cool. Yeah, and that helps too with the Bestball overlay. If you guys are interested in this, bestballoverlay.com, promo code Pounders for 33% off, all caps. Just being able to go through and just setting it to Dalmatian, so you're not getting like the same player over and over again in your higher stakes contests. Setting it to just BBM or maybe some of those other drafts like the Poodle. You don't care, and you just set it to all contests that sort of fall in that range of post NFL draft. That's what I like to do, at least.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely been helping me out. The tool's great. Using it for just BBM, for example, it's just a lot easier and cleaner to see my exposures than having to go back, refresh, have two tabs open and
I thought I was at 17%,
yeah,
X
exactly.
player, lock it. Who are you looking at over here at 19? Do you like to reach up for someone like Mike Evans, or are you just going like ADP on like Adams, Collins, Debo?
I'm probably Adams or Debo, especially with Ayuk news. If Ayuk is traded, for example, I mean Debo should rise. That's something you can get ahead of, especially in a contest like this where it could fill before that news even breaks. So then you're really getting a pretty clean advantage that way.
Right.
But we do have I have an Adams share already. I know we drafted Adams in our other draft.
Okay.
So I'm actually kind of happy he's off the board.
Yeah, and he feels like someone that's just pretty easy to click in a contest like this as well. Is he really going to be a negative advance rate play on a 4 out of 12? It's just kind of hard to picture.
So I'm thinking we just take one of these guys, Taylor or Barkley. I mean, do you have a lean?
What do we have for playoff schedules? Pittsburgh, Washington, Dallas, Denver, Tennessee, at Giants.
I will say Barkley for me, I do like a little bit more because bye week 5 is a little cleaner to stack than bye week 14. There's a lot of good 14 guys, so I'm kind of pushing Barkley for that reason.
Yeah, if it's not Barkley, for me, it's probably Waddle or Evans, and then bringing it back with like Devonta Smith. But if we get like Devonta Smith with this build, and maybe make a bet on Philly, then how likely would you be to bring in Hurts when you have Barkley though?
I mean, for a contest like this, I don't think it's necessarily awful to do Hurts. Obviously, if he's falling, I mean, we're getting an advantage out of position.
Right.
And assuming he's dropping, that means you're probably even getting him after maybe Lamar got scooped up before him. So now I think that's even better. But I know it doesn't correlate well, obviously, with a running back who you're hoping to get points over touchdowns, being thrown through the air.
Right. it is interesting because you have to think of these contests just like in a little different light, right? Like you are sort of betting on offenses as a whole when it's 4 out of 12 advance, and then the next pod is what, is it 1 out of 6 or 1 out of 5? Let me have a peek. 1 out of 5 and 1 out of 8.
1 out of 8. Yeah.
Yeah. So it could be a Barkley week, it could be a Hurts week, and then the next week could be the opposite, and you could get through with both of those. But in a single game slate, 23 teams is not a lot. So kind of
also, I mean, Barkley does have some receiving upside. He's not like completely
true.
just.
It's just Jalen Hurts isn't the check down guy, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we'll see. Maybe that changes with having Barkley's skill set in the offense, but I do think Barkley gets a little too much hate. And I think it's just because of the culture of best ball. It's like, you got to draft wide receivers, bro. Like, it's wide receivers or nothing. I don't mind the hero RB builds. And you could have very positive advance rates doing that as well.
I think you can take the ADP, and then it's just how you build your team after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like for me, it's DK over Kyron, right?
Well, especially when we start with an RB.
Yep.
And that's where you have to make those mental notes of, okay, when do I, when would I go this player over this player when you have Kyron ranked over DK? So making those small changes is just,
Yeah, like I have DK over Kyron to begin with, but like we were saying before, when you start with Saquon, that's where I think you need to be sharp enough not to just fall on the ADP slide and just go double running back. Take a shot at a receiver instead.
Yeah, I like DK here too. I think we both have him ranked up a little bit. What about if Tank Dell or Higgins comes back to you? Do you like that, or do you like going ETN or maybe Lamar, Pickens, Amari Cooper?
So again, with Pickens, I'm like a little worried now with Ayuk trade. So I've been cooling off on his ADP. I mean, I'm liking Terry as a sneaky value. Christian Kirk again, and then Cooper.
Yeah. This is the contest for like finding the best values in the ranges. Like you don't need to over correlate due to how small the final is. So really being a value-based drafter and very advance rate heavy thinking, that could really help you in this style contest.
I think I almost have it like this because with Higgins, I mean, I do think he's a better player than Christian Kirk, but I do think Christian Kirk should be the receiver 1 on his team, which I like a little bit better than a receiver 2.
Yeah. How about end of season though? We don't have to worry about a tank down Higgins off the board. End of season, how do you see that between him and the rookie? And is Brian Thomas Jr. playing a role more like a less physical Pickens?
Well, they do stuff that's so different from each other. Like Kirk is going to be a guy that's in the middle of the field, and you're going to get Brian Thompson, who's more probably going to be stretching the field and deep balls. So I don't really think their roles affect each other. Like I think Kirk's role is pretty safe as long as he's healthy.
Well, him and probably Ingram are competing for targets in the middle of the field.
Yeah, that's who you should be more worried about is Ingram over Brian Thompson.
Thomas.
Thomas. What did I say?
Thompson.
Oh, Thompson. Oh God.
I really hope we get Amari Cooper here. I saw the splits between him and when Deshaun Watson was playing. Yeah. And the numbers there are actually wildly good for Amari Cooper, even though Deshaun Watson's numbers sucked, and we see him go off the board here, which is kind of, in my opinion, kind of sucky. But I definitely Kirk over Terry McLaurin.
Okay, and maybe we can get even Terry to fall back to us. Let's go with Kirk.
And the worry here, right? Like if we go ETN, I probably like ETN to outscore Kirk this season. But if we don't get McLaurin on the way back around, you're looking at that like Jaden Reed range. And we see a receiver go off one pick after, so it's not ideal. Not ideal.
There's a larger part of these draft rooms where you fall into a lot of RB zones where we can pretty much pick back up and scoop some value. So I definitely do think it's smart to just lean into receivers earlier.
Hell yeah. Let's see. Barkley, it's got Pittsburgh, Washington, Dallas. Do you like looking at the week 15? Because that's something you can turn off too. You could just have it show week 16, 17 as well.
I mean, yeah, for a contest like this, I told you this before. I do think you really should be thinking about week 16 over 17. Getting through the 1 out of 8 to me feels like almost just as important as playing in a field with 23 players.
Yeah, I think week 16 is very important in this contest. I 100% agree with that. And the minimum payout for this, let me have a quick peek. The top 23 is 1,000. Okay, so it's 10x.
You know, like you said before, like when a lot of people were going back and forth with BBM about which weeks matter, and you basically, what's the advance for week 16 in BBM?
It's one out of 16.
So you're competing against 1 out of 16 people, but to your point, when you go to the finals, now you're in a huge final.
500, yeah. And you have a lot of people correlating for week 16 just to get there. But if you're lucky enough to get there, even just correlating that game or that week, it's like, okay, like, yeah, sure, the payouts are more flat, so it might be a little more plus EV. But if you're getting there once every 8 years, I want the most plus EV lineup possible to get through correlated for week 17 to make sure that it's worth it and not just a min cash. So
do you want to try and hit receiver here, or if we have this, or possibly I like these players in this range?
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind Jaden Reed here either, and just kind of forecasting an uptick of snaps.
I do have a Jaden Reed share, it looks like, so I'm a little off that now, I think.
How about Jacobs falling 6 picks?
Yeah, no, it's interesting. It's a good bye week. I do like. My thing is, like, I wanted Zamir White on this squad later on, and they do share the same bye, so that's where I'm a little.
I think we have to go Ridley then, if that's the.
But do you think this is a huge difference, right?
We have Ridley versus Kirk week 17 too.
Okay, all right, let's go for it.
Yeah, we can find like you said, like we can hit that 0 RB range where like Zamir White is. Sometimes Aaron Jones falls in that range. Najee, Stevenson, Warren. There's plenty of guys that go there.
And I think this puts Chris in a bad spot too with having 2 running backs here. Now he's just falling on
leaning in.
So
which is fine. It is fine if he's going to be filling the flex with RB every week. It's just you better hope those 3 RBs hit and hit hard.
Well, you also have to worry about getting the right receivers later on too.
Yeah, in a higher stakes, we'll call it, contest. Typically, a little sharper drafters, wide receivers come off sooner. So it does feel good to have 4 here by Ridley.
Yeah, now that we have to be conscious of, we have 3 of our top 5 players in bye week 5. So
yeah,
not
so
Chargers
late.
Not like it's like an eliminator, but I mean we are sacrificing a lot of points in that week.
Mm-hmm. Chargers players might be tough to bring in those middle rounds.
Yeah.
Here we can go Brian Thomas if we want to bring in the double with Jacksonville. Jordan Addison, maybe you don't have a share of. Scroll down, you can go Deontay Johnson. You can go Kittle.
I do like Deontay too.
Kittle's there by week 9. I think we have to skip RB again in this range.
I agree. I would like to get, obviously I'm going to have to reach a little bit, but it's going to have to be like whatever we pick now. Zamir White's probably going to have to be our round 7 pick, he's probably not coming back to 91.
Receivers are going off quick. This is up to you. I'd be between Deontay Johnson and Kittle with this pick. And Kittle has
not even Joe Mixon. I do have a share of him. So
Kittle has a bye week. He has a week 17 matchup against Antonio Amon-Ra. So we can go Goff for that, and that'd be fun. Yeah, Sweet. Let's live a little bit. Let's
correlate. Even though we've been preaching correlation in the finals for this contest, really doesn't.
Yeah, but little minis like that. If you're hitting on the projected highest game total of the entire week 17 slate, and then you get those two players that hit in that game, like you're gonna have a top finish, and that's exactly what happened when my Dalmatian team made the finals in a 40-team final. We had Dallas and Dallas versus Detroit, highest game of the slate. It hits. Sure, Adams was actually the better of the Lamb Amon-Ra. It was Lamb Adams, but my team still finished 4th because I had Laporta. We had super stacks. We had Lamb. We had Cooks. We super stacked that game, and you have a high finish when that game goes off. So.
Got it. Yeah, for sure.
So it's definitely a fun matchup. Definitely a fun matchup. It's not like it's minus EV to correlate if you're getting players that you think still excel in that range of players.
Yeah.
And if Deontay Johnson falls back to us, it's a freaking gift, but I don't think it's gonna happen. Yeah, he's gone.
Yeah, this room has been this room is really pushing wide receiver to the extreme.
Click the receivers. Who do we have on the board?
It's gross.
Okay. Yeah,
I mean,
are
look,
you skipping JSN? Are you skipping the JSN range?
Yeah, I think we should be getting a Zamir White in this range. I'm going to reach on him.
That's wild. If David Montgomery's there, you going Zamir over David Montgomery?
Yeah.
Lean in. Nick's leaning into the Zamir White thing.
I mean, so have you kind of heard anything on Zamir or no? Just not following him?
No, I'm following. They like him. It's just I don't know how in I am on Las Vegas as an offense in total.
Yeah, I get that.
I like the 3 freaking dome games. The 3 dome games in the playoffs, week 15, 16, 17. But is this a team that could also bring someone in? I think there's room for. All right, now that Demont's off the board, I would still probably be Stevenson or Najee over Zamir, but
I mean, if you want to, we can try and do this, and then I'm fine with scooping Zamir next round. But
okay,
I do think Zamir has a path for more volume than Stevenson if he doesn't lose his role based on Antonio.
Do you think we can if you think we can get both? Let's go Stevenson.
Okay.
The other thing we could have done too is gone like Ingram and then try to get Zamir, but yeah, let's see if he falls back to us. Got 11 picks. There's just a lot of RBs on the board still before him.
Yeah, exactly. But hey, if somebody's like a Zamir stan like I am, they're gonna probably click him.
Oh, without a doubt. And that's where I wish you just went and got your player. But
well, we're drafting this together, so it's like, you know, we need equal input.
I like the balance here. So Zamir by week 10 will fit really well. And it does feel like there's a huge tiered gap from Zamir. Once Zamir goes off the board to Swift and Warren, it does feel like there's a huge tier jump.
At least for like touches. I mean, based on what Antonio Pierce had said, like, you know, you wouldn't be surprised if we're in the 200, 300 range, you know, bearing he's not getting pulled for lack of not performing well.
We see a Warren reach up. We see a Najee pick. This guy's probably going to click RB, I would think, with the 0051. We see a 4 pick run at RB, which this is
2 running backs.
You could see another tight end here too. You could see Ferguson go with Dak.
Actually, one of his picks is probably going to be Kyler. He's got.
Yeah, he actually goes double by week 12 tight end.
Wow.
I would have rathered Ferguson in that spot, but Zamir goes at what, 80 A couple
86.
picks before ADP. See, this is just such a good range to double hit RB too. Like I like the way he actually played that. We were gonna have a very similar build. How would you be more likely to bring in like a Jonathan Brooks with Barkley and Stevenson in this build? Or do you think Brooks is just someone that's gonna fall? Do you think he's gonna have negative news coming?
I would just rather like take a guy like Zach Moss over Brooks. I mean, they're both trending towards being the starter, except Brooks has got that question mark with his injury. And then, God forbid, he's healthy at some point in the season. There's always a chance he could get hurt again.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the likelihood of that happening over like a Zach Moss injury?
I think Brooks has the clear shot to be the number one, where Moss towards the end of the season, he's probably going to be having some sort of pretty large split with Chase Brown. That's just end of season. I like Zach Moss and Chase Brown though. I'll leave this one up to you.
We do have a little stat here for Ridley for week 15.
Okay.
What do you think?
Oh,
between these two guys, it's
both work bye week wise. If you think Zach Moss is a better advanced rate play, I could see Jonathan Brooks getting negative news and falling.
Yeah.
If he gets positive news, he'll definitely rise. But Zach Moss is a safer pick. Like you said, we also have that Tennessee. We also have that Tennessee little mini week 15. Maybe that's the tiebreaker. And this team's actually set up really well for QB. Like we're set up perfectly for like a 3 late QB option with like either Geno, T-Law. I love T-Law and the price on T-Law. He just got paid too. Like, and then Levis. If we get like T-Law and Levis, would you be comfortable just leaning into those two, or would you bring in like Geno Smith?
I like any of these combination of guys. Like getting, I mean, Goff and Lawrence are obviously going to be a, take your pick because they go around the same ADP. You're not probably going to want both of them like back to back. But if we went Lawrence or Goff, like I'm fine with bringing in Geno or even Will Levis.
Yep. Yep. And sometimes like those QBs fall too, right? Like the pocket passing QBs. Sometimes they get pushed. For receivers, we're obviously going to need to click up on some receivers. So I think we'll actually miss on where's Goff go?
He's like in like the 120s, I believe.
Yeah, right before
126, and then Lawrence is 120. So
T-Law's been rising.
Yeah, of course.
God damn, boys. It's to 120 still criminally too late, but this is an interesting spot where I think you can make the case for Shaheed here. I think you could make the case for who goes directly after Shaheed, not Shakir. One more.
I'm kind of out on Mike. We don't want to bring in another. I don't think we want Palmer.
I think we could do it after a Shaheed.
I love Jacoby.
Myers would be a good click for this team by week 10.
Yeah. If I don't get a Zamir White on my team, I like getting Jacoby or even Trey Tucker, who's been getting really good.
Trey Tucker.
Ooh. Yeah, he's been getting a lot of good praise from Pierce as well.
Bringing in sleeps. I can't lean into too much into like wide receiver 4 news.
No, he's receiver 3.
I know, but don't you think
maybe
the 2 tight ends
behind Brock? I'll give you that.
Yeah.
And
they have 2 usable tight ends too. Like how many 2 tight end sets are they going to have with? I mean, they just selected dude in the first round last year too.
Yeah.
Like I presume that they're going to have a lot of 2 tight end sets.
What about if we did one of these 2 guys? Do you like taking and then going Myers?
I think we need a receiver.
Okay.
We have 4. We have 3 RBs.
So let's go Rashid then, and then I think we do this.
If you want to go RB Myers, I'm good with that too.
Oh my god, my screen's glitching. All right, so we're good with Shaheed here.
Yeah, we should. Even if he's not the best value, like at ADP, and I don't think he is for a contest like this. But we're getting stuck in a range where bye weeks are starting to become a problem. We have 3 RBs. We have an elite tight end. We know who we want to target at QB. There's no reason we shouldn't go wide receiver here. I think paying up for it makes sense. Where look at these guys behind us. 4 receivers, 4 receivers, 4 receivers, 4 receivers. Everyone's got 4 receivers. So if we don't catch up, we're going to be stuck with 4 receivers.
Right.
We don't want that. So
right.
let's see what they end up doing. And this guy just keeps selecting running backs because that's just what's falling to him. And he sort of put himself in this situation. Right. Yikes.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable with any of these 3 guys with this next pick.
Yeah, I like that. I'm slowing down slightly on the Singletary click just because of Waller. It frees up like 12 or 10 million in cap space for the Giants. And I don't know what they're going to do with that. If they're going to work it into a running back, but they need so much. They're like, the Giants, it's your team. They need a lot on defense. And, there's obviously not a lot out there for free agents at RB. So
I think they're pretty comfortable with Singletary, especially like him and Dable have a rapport in Buffalo. Mm-hmm. And it seems obviously everything he's saying kind of is trending to that. So I think he's good. He's good to go, if I'm being honest.
Like would the Giants bring in like Kareem Hunt? I don't think so, right?
Yeah, I don't know. They just invested in Tracy.
Dogs in the house.
Hold on 1 second.
You're good. Myers, Dobbs. Dobbs is falling a little bit in this spot. Honestly, in this spot, I still wouldn't mind just grabbing Myers.
Yeah, I'm good with Myers here. I like this click too.
Oh, good. I mean, Singletary goes too. So
they took away our players.
Myers and Dobbs, I think, are both fine at 115.
I think I'm probably team Myers over Dobbs, even at ADP. But
yeah,
there you go.
We don't even have to worry about it.
There we go.
Cool. I think we're pretty well caught up at receiver here too.
I'm just looking at our next pick. I mean, I like Downs. I mean, Goff could be here.
Yep. So that would mean T-Law if you want to go T-Law here.
T-Law yeah, I'm gonna go Myers.
Okay.
I think when you have a team like this, we can push these quarterbacks because we have so many late stacks to choose from.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and coming back to us, if we get one of Purdy or T-Law, I think that's going to be very lucky. And of course, like you said, like a lot of these teams to our left have QBs. Like we're seeing 2 teams right there with 2 QBs.
Yeah.
If you scroll up, maybe those guys even have a second as well. The Love and Daniels team.
So
yeah, they do. Oh my God, that guy's got 3 QBs. Maybe we should have won QB. and that's sort of like we'll see if anyone else in the room adjusts to that. But even getting some small information like that helps, because what if he fucking goes a 4th? It changes the dynamic of the room. But this is good. This is
we have stack partners with every one of these guys, which is good because none of them line up with bye week 5, bye week 10 for Geno and Levis.
Dude, and Herbert off the board. This is
who are you?
This guy with 3 QBs is scaring me though.
Who would you be leaning into the most based on ADP if you had a Kittle stack, you have a Kirk stack, you have an Amon-Ra?
I want to lean into the receiver. We also have. I want to lean into T-Law here. We have the Week 17 correlation. That's the one that I would want to lean in the most. Is this guy an auto? Nope. Please don't.
And that could be a lot of fun with the Will Levis, because that's just like an onslaught in a game script.
There's a good chance we get Goff on the way back. This guy to our right, he has JMO, and he can't afford. Yes, we pushed T-Law.
Well, Laporta here, yeah.
There's a good chance we get Goff back.
All right, so we'll go T-Law here. Perfect.
This guy's got a 1.450. I don't know if he can really afford to go Goff in this spot, or he still's got to catch up it. He goes Purdy instead. He says, "Fuck you, I'll do what I want." Jesus.
Sometimes you just got to be the guy who scoops, man.
I guess so. Yeah, I like leaning into the week 17 correlation. And he's a riser. Like, we see Trevor Lawrence, he's actively rising. So the fact that we get him at 128, the fact that his ADP is behind Purdy, it realistically, if you re-rank them today, they're probably closer than what shows right now.
Yeah, I think I've always been like Lawrence over Purdy too, just because of the athletic side of his game and being able to get some, some rushing upside, which Purdy doesn't really offer too well.
Look at that. We have week 16 matchup, dome game against Myers for correlation there. So bringing in Trevor Lawrence there feels really good.
Right. Let's see some guys that are fun. Pat Fry could be good. Oh no, never mind.
We can bring in like a late Jonnu with that build. I think that would be fun. We might be able to stop at 2 QBs. So let's see what happens here. If we get Goff back, I would suggest we stop at 2 QBs.
It's just this guy. Does this guy just auto Goff?
Has he been on auto?
It started looking like it. Yeah. Well, no, he picked here.
Yeah, and the Mike Willie was before ADP.
Let's see what he does.
He shouldn't, but we see people do stuff they shouldn't all the time. Nick Chubb, click ink.
Nice.
Let's go.
Does Chris go Goff?
No, he can't. Let's go. Push both QBs after ADP correlated. Get off us. Get off us.
You just love to see it.
So clean. So clean. 10 picks away. We have a 2-3-6-1. If Freiermuth is there, I would definitely click Freiermuth. Otherwise, are you looking at some of these?
And you don't care about bye week 9 then?
No, because we could go late Jonnu and it doesn't cost you anything. You can go late Jatavian Sanders, like by week 9 should have a decent role in the offense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Plus, we know tight end isn't going to truly tank your team if you're even stacking them.
If you take 1-0, what are you losing? Like 4 to 10 points typically.
Yeah.
Like what does that late tight end score on that bye week? And maybe if you're really big brain right now, you'd be like Miami Dolphins week 9 schedule and just see who they play. And
I'd be surprised. I'm surprised if Freiermuth makes it back. This guy's got 0 tight ends. He's got 1. He's got 1. So
we'll see. Burton goes off the board. He's definitely one of the other clicks I was looking at. Do you like Mooney for this team, or should we touch it maybe Charbonnet in this range too? Charbonnet.
What about bringing a guy like this up?
Yeah, I would be Charbonnet over Ray Davis, but I think it's pretty close.
No, I think you're right on Charbonnet for sure. I think I'd pull the trigger on Zach too. I mean, I don't know.
By week 10 too would have been nice.
I mean, this is also crazy. Like, I don't know if I could click Ray Davis over Nick Chubb.
Nick Chubb's ADP is gonna fall.
Yeah.
I'd go Ty Chandler here by week 6. They're gonna mix him in, and they've already said like his snaps are gonna go up. They have Aaron Jones, who's not he's not an 80% snap share guy. I'd be surprised if Ty Chandler's still on the board here, but this guy's kind of a wild card, so.
Got the Miami. He's got Chase with. Okay. Well.
Yeah, he goes Chandler.
So you actually think Chubb is going to be behind Ray Davis at some point?
I just don't think Chubb's clickable right now.
It's tough for this build too.
It's hard for our build. We can't go Gibson because we have Stevenson.
All right. So why don't
I'm okay with the Ray Davis click? Yeah.
Let's do it.
Or yeah. Let's go Ray Davis here.
Let's have some fun. Pat, you're living in my world now.
This is a good RB room to bring in Ray Davis. I like Ray Davis. I'm ahead of ADP on Ray.
2 and 12. That's all right.
I'm 18%, man. Like what do you want?
God damn.
What more do you need?
I'll tell you what though.
12 and a half.
This is gonna have to be a click at some point. I'm just leaving him in the queue.
But why? I'm Wandale over Wilson.
Yeah, I'm clicking Michael Wilson over Wandale.
Damn. The Giants hate continues from the Giants fan.
I mean, I wish I could just, if I'm sharing my screen now, I wish I could share the picture that just got released of Michael Wilson. It made me even more on board.
It's a photo. You want to see biceps? You want to see some biceps?
I mean, I got the bicep team here. We got Amon-Ra. We got DK. I mean, we got big bicep guys.
DK's literally in the movie The Terminator.
We just don't have Leggett.
Who do you like for some of these RBs past Gibson? Do you like Vidal, McLaughlin, Bucky, Chuba?
This news has been interesting with McLaughlin.
I agree.
Chuba got some good news a little bit about his usage early on. I do think when Brooks is back, his role will diminish. But I mean, early on, I think this is a value here.
I think he's better for 0 RB type builds when you're still looking for touches early in the season, and we have a shit ton of touches early on. So maybe we lean into some more uncertainty, high upside towards the end of the season, and that could be Chuba still. Like you could get Brooks re-injury, so it still could be Chuba by week 11. That I'm still okay with that click.
We can't go Gibson. I'm not going to stack him with Stevenson. That makes no sense. I'm JK over Vidal personally. Bucky got some bad news recently, so I'm kind of clicking off of that.
Yeah. Where are you on Khalil Herbert, Rashawn Johnson, and we probably have to click Mooney here if he's there.
Yeah, this is fine. I'm good with Mooney. I'm actually good. Okay.
Fuck, that's a good click for him.
Boy, this could be a tight end click. Can we carry Hawkinson on this squad?
No, he's gonna fall from that ADP.
Okay. You like Ben Simmons?
I think it's Chuba here.
Okay.
I think it's Chuba.
Let's do it.
Catch up. We got 5 RBs now. That feels pretty solid. Bye weeks are looking pretty good. We have that bye week 5 with Barkley too, which kind of makes more sense for the Chuba click as well.
Yeah, exactly. But maybe hopefully week 5 he's actually getting
50%, 60, 50%.
Could be even better, but that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, you're looking at 12 touches. Like that's pretty good. On the way back around, I do think we go tight end here. But
this has got to be Michael Wilson.
Yeah, probably tight end. Who do we have for receivers? Does Michael Wilson raise the upside of this team? Does it raise the floor of this team? We have Amon-Ra, DK, Kirk, Ridley, Shaheed, Myers. Like we have a ton of high floor players with like even Myers, Kirk, and Amon-Ra. I would just lean into some of the later rookies like Javon Baker, or like bring in a little bit of uncertainty.
So what do we think? What are we thinking with these guys right here?
You can click Fant Janu for this as well. No,
you like Fant without? I mean, I would if I had maybe Gino with DK and we're doing.
Yeah, but we're not overly worried about it though. If it's the best click in the range, you already have a share of Fant. I don't know how much.
I mean, I'm technically this over this.
Okay, I'm cool with that.
I mean, I could even bring him up to like here if you want. Like I really do like John Yu in this Miami offense, but
yeah, same. He went from 176 after the news broke. They went to Miami.
But my thing is, if we like John Yu, I like being able to do this then because I do think we're going to be able to get both these guys. Vice versa, if I do this, I don't think I get Michael Wilson as my last receiver. And I do like him. I really do like Michael Wilson over the range of these guys, all of these guys.
Scroll down.
Top to bottom. I like Mike. There's no one you could probably talk to me into that I think Michael Wilson doesn't have a better range than all of
McMillan's got a
these.
really, really fun playoff schedule. 2 dome games and then playing in warm Carolina.
I just can't do it, man. I think we do this, and there's so many tight ends we can choose from. And regardless, all these receivers are offering the same.
Yeah, we're
same
gonna go.
routine.
We're gonna go another receiver, anyways.
I think we do this, and we can still probably get John Yu if we like him.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's bring in Michael Wilson.
We're done at receiver. Oh no.
No, we need one more.
Done.
I think we could use one more. I would say we have a good balance, but like a Javon Baker, a Jalen McMillan could be 2 fun clicks for this team. It depends if you want to stop it. We're stopping at 2 QBs, so do you want to stop at 5 RBs? It could be a 2-5-8-3 is what it would look like. I think that would be fine for this team. I mean, if Braylon Allen's still there, that's definitely an interesting click. If Khalil Herbert or Rashawn Johnson, if one of those 3 are there, I would say we add an RB. If not, I would tend to just fade this crew. There's Tank Bigsby, but Braylon Allen off the board.
I do think it's a tight end though. Click here first.
Yeah, but we could get Jonnu. We can get Jonnu at 198. I don't think Rashawn Johnson or Khalil Herbert's going to be there. So,
yep. He going.
We might be able to get Juwan Johnson in the 18th round too, and that's leaning into some uncertainty, but getting a nice discount on a player that, what if he is back by week 1? What if he's back by week 4? Like, I'm probably okay if he plays from week 5 on as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's
just, what's his chance of that re-injury now throughout the season? I do think he's a good click though. If you're getting him in the last 2 rounds of your draft, I do think there's no problem with clicking it. It's absolutely free. But I do think you have to at least be aware that there's a chance that he could come back at some point and then go down again.
That's why I think the 3 tight end build makes a little more sense. And we have Kittle too, who can disappear for games. But like, we could probably wait on the Juwan Johnson like news too. Like, this contest is gonna be open for a decent amount of time. So is it the best time to click Juwan? Probably not. If you're getting him in the 18th, I think you can add him in on some teams. But yeah, I think you're right there.
I'm gonna let you decide. We have so many tight ends here, which is great for us.
Yeah.
We have all of this.
Scroll up to our QB combos.
QB.
Yeah. No, our
combos. Jets.
Tennessee, Vegas, Jets. Yeah, Conklin would have been nice, but he's off. San Fran, Chicago, Buffalo. Yeah, we're not going Knox, so.
It's crazy that this is also still here.
Yeah, we can't.
But maybe next round, maybe. So what do you like here for these guys?
Let's grab your point. I would personally go this. I'd personally
want to do this, and then maybe this is available.
I don't think it's out of the question, but I don't think Geno necessarily gives you a lot of points extra on this team. I still like Fant here, but
okay, you would pick Fant here?
Yeah.
Dude, Geno in the 17th round though. It's interesting, man, especially with a double stack. I mean, it's just giving you an extra out for those finals.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. It's starting to get interesting. We have a relatively balanced team. We're gonna have an extra pick in the last round. My question, it's basically gonna be: would you rather Geno Smith or would you rather a late receiver option to go with this 3rd tight end? McMillan's off the board, so now I'm a little more on Geno already. Likely off. Click the receiver list. I don't think Geno gives you a shit ton of points like throughout the season. I don't think he ends up like giving you a lot. I'd rather Khalif Raymond for this team. I think the Khalif click is just as interesting as Geno. But
well, we have 2 picks here. That's the thing.
Yeah, one's got to be a tight end, I think.
Well, after these 2 guys, I'm really not into tight end.
I think Sanders is fine personally, but
I would say this offers way more than Sanders.
yeah, it's a trade off though. I think it is a trade off. You have to see who our QBs are, right? Versus like who our tight ends are, and then you can start 2 tight ends. Not that we would think that Sanders would hit the flex at any point, but they have said they want to use their tight ends more in a pass option way. So let's see. We might not be given a choice. This guy actually doesn't go. Okay.
So John, you here? Yeah.
Yeah. Let's bring in the 3rd tight end in Janu. I think he offers good spike potential for this team. And he's just a good bet, right? Like you're leveraging Hill, you're leveraging Waddle. Gino goes to 200. I'm fine with that. I think it hurts his team more than helps it. So,
well, he doesn't have any correlation. It looks like so.
Right. I think it hurts his team more than it. He's not raising the ceiling. He's not really even. Yeah. Okay. So he brings in
double buy. He has double buy.
Yeah.
We bailed him out. I mean, he could have went Jones here instead, but
yeah, I don't know. Let's see who they play week 12. They play the Cardinals week 12. We probably did bail them out.
Wait, what's that?
They play Seattle plays the Cardinals week 12. That's a good matchup for him, just to get some QB points. But that's a lot. That's a lot invested. That's still a lot invested at QB. You don't want to have to do that when you go Josh Allen and his team. Like, look at the receivers. His team's at receivers fucking gross. Curtis Samuel's his wide receiver 4. Mike Williams, wide receiver 5. Quentin Johnson is his last receiver on the team. Team's dead, bro. Team's dead.
I mean, he correlated. At least he's got 2 Buffalo receivers and a Jet receiver, so he's clearly like.
Yeah, he's a zombie. He's a zombie. R.I.P. R.I.P.
Right, so if Raymond gets sniped here, let's
probably Devontae Walker. Probably Devontae Walker.
I do have a share already, so I'm good with that.
Okay. You could go DJ Shark. You can go Elijah Moore, Hyatt, Claypool. Although, like,
can I interest you in this?
Malik. Yeah. We could definitely go someone like Malik.
Or would you rather this?
I like Parker Washington too, but I mean, you're already going to lose $100. I don't know if you want to lose 200.
Oh, snap!
This is like a leverage play. You're leveraging your bet by if you take Parker here.
Correct.
That's funny.
Right. It's Raymond though.
Entirely up to you. I like Raymond as the wide receiver 3. In Detroit, yeah. I mean, he's not the number 3.
Who do we think has a better role, Raymond or Parker? Is what it comes down to.
I like Parker if you think Gabe's going to get hurt.
So, do you want to go Parker?
Yeah, I'd be Parker.
Okay,
I'd be Parker.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun.
We're also leaning into Amon-Ra hitting early too. So like Khalif. It's still a fun click. Like, I'm still clicking Khalif Raymond, but I don't think there's gonna be too many people with Parker Washington. So that could be just
way less than Khalif,
way less,
in my opinion.
And it's correlated. And the bet against Kirk is not as heavy as the Khalif Raymond bet against Amon-Ra in at pick 6 or 7, wherever we go.
Yeah, for sure.
7. This is just a really good advance rate team, and that's what you're looking for in the Dalmatian. And we add a little bit of correlation. We don't go, overboard on it. I think we got both of our QBs after ADP correlated, not over correlated. It looks pretty sexy to me.
Any teams you want to see, or are we good? Anybody here?
No, I actually didn't recognize a single name, so I think we got into a good room. Let's take a peek at how Chris ended up, because he put himself in a wide receiver avalanche spot. Like, he was calling the dogs in.
All right. We got Chris.
Jalen Hurts and Purdy's a great combo. 127 for Purdy's fun. Yep, I love that. Bijan, Kyron, Josh Jacobs. So he's heavily relying on RB hitting the flex. I don't think he had to add CEH, but the opportunity cost is really low for a fifth RB in the last round.
Yeah, I agree. This is where I think it gets dicey.
J-Mo, wide receiver 3, baby. Tyler Lockett. I like the Lockett click here. Dobbs, I think, makes sense for this team. Dotson, Ricky, Mooney. Mooney helps this team a lot. God, you can't be weak in 2 spots. Like, if you're going to be weak at receiver, you better be nutted everywhere else. And this tight end room looks tough.
Especially with this.
You can't be bad in 2 spots. That's the rule, man. You can't be weak in 2 spots. He paid the rake. We appreciate it. 100%. 100%. 100%. 4 out of 11 advance. We love that. But yeah, the tool just helps you be able to correlate these teams so easily, and you can plan out your team so much easier as well. It's just we create a really strong team. Tank Bigsby doesn't get grabbed in this one. How do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, let's check this out. Yeah, it's interesting. I think it's fine. He's not getting. I mean, that he's not 100% getting clicked. I don't mind him, but I think if he's getting passed in rooms, like it's not a huge deal. Is how I'm kind of feeling about it.
Yeah. Do you think he's gonna beat out? Man, who's the other freak that's there? I want to say Dante Foreman, but that was it's
like behind Tank on the
Dearness Johnson.
Oh, Dearness Johnson from Cleveland.
They both averaged 2.6 yards per carry last year. Him and Tank.
I mean, look, we all know Tank's year last year was disgusting. It wasn't great. But, I do think there has been some good news at training camp, and I do think they invested in him. So I do think he's going to get another shot at being the RB2.
I see it the same way. Yeah. All right, Nick. Well, I think we drafted a pretty solid team. So that
was fun.
We'll see this team go straight to the finals, and appreciate everyone coming out. If you guys enjoyed today's live stream, go down, slap the like on the video, hit the subscribe button. We're gonna be doing a 24-hour live stream at 2K subs, and yeah, grab the overlay if you guys like the overlay. Promo code Pounders, all caps, for 33% off, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you for joining us. And